I can ask questions and determine taxation, but if I'm going to sit down with your accountant, I want to know, is the current strategy that we're putting forth, does it literally save taxes or not? Will they pay less in income taxes? And if the answer to that is true based on the facts, that's their expertise. They can tell us that. I don't want their personal opinion on whether they think something is expensive or not, or whether someone should do it because they wouldn't do it or not. That's irrelevant. What's relevant is, how does it impact that client? How does it improve them? And does it meet the scenarios of what the client said they wanted?
Yeah, love it. All right, let's dive into the case studies / illustrations. And for those that are watching, Trent is going to be sharing his computer. And for those that are listening, we'll do our best to describe what's going on the computer screen.
Well, I'm going to try to do a couple of things. I think one of the first places we should start before we go back to a case, and I'll show you the case scenario. We'll start there. We'll start with the LEAP model again. So I was raised on the LEAP model. I've also, and that's the LEAP system. Bob Castellone created that back in 1980 for himself. And I've been using it since 1993. And I've used it to train a lot of advisors and accountants, attorneys, and stockbrokers and bankers. But I've used it in my own life. And I would not put something in front of someone that I haven't done myself. And I found this to be extremely valuable. So in this model, what we've got is Richie Rich and his wife, Amy Rich. We just happened to spell her name A-M-I as Am I Rich. But and they have Johnny and Susie as their kids. And what we've demonstrated on the model is how we would communicate with a client. We have their facts. And so this, to recap, this model is a picture of today's statements, numbers, policies, everything they have, all the debts they pay, how they pay it, the balances on that specific day. And it is the summation of all the best thinking they've had with all their team up to this point. What we've learned is items that are in the model work efficiently because we can find the best ways to position those for that client. Things that are outside the model typically don't work very efficiently, like the debt instruments. Maybe some people want to make extra debt payments, but to which one? Do they use a debt index? Are they figuring out ways to pay it down? And we don't necessarily see that in the model. We had to help design that and be involved. Cash flow instruments, being able to have a structure to be able to receive income before it's deployed into whether it's capital improvements or lifestyle. Getting that cash flow into the model is extremely important. And so this is what the model is very helpful with. So when we look at this particular program with this particular client, I think you can see it. I want to find ways that I can help improve them. The present plan is no projections into the future. It's not calculations into the future. It's a picture of today. And so when we do this, we want to find where are the gaps, where are the deficiencies. I'm just going to be real quick on a few things here to look at. So I start with protection always. And the reason I do is because I care about the outcomes.
Right.
I want them, when something goes wrong, not if, when something goes wrong, to know that this plan will continue to work as good or maybe even better than before.
So you say you start with protection versus what could you start with if it wasn't protection?
In an investment account or a tax or a debt.
Right.
We could go in there somewhere first. But if we fixed those things first and then they became disabled and the plan doesn't hold up,
another example could be, okay, if we're looking at someone's home, where do you start? Are you starting on like kitchen renovation, yard, all these exciting things, or is the home insured? Because you could work on all these things, kitchen, and house burns down and you got nothing. And so it would be pretty foolish for you not to have home insurance. Mm-hmm. And that's why most people do. And the same thing goes to when you're looking at someone's financial life. Robinhood's not built around protection. The sexy answer is people are looking at investing / gambling or doing the next exciting thing. Mm-hmm. And most people are walking around like their car and homes are uninsured, but they're not insuring their lives.
Yeah, that's amazing to me, but that's true. There's a lot of people who get the minimum protection because they focus on the cost. I want to put as little into this as possible, thinking for some reason I would be excluded from having that accident. Well, none of us are excluded from the opportunity to have a problem. all of us will experience ups and downs in life. All of us are exposed to high risk just by getting out of bed every day.